Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Colts were able to beat the Patriots overseas in Germany. They didn't do it how we thought, right? The prediction was 30-10. They ended up winning this game 10-6. This was not what I thought it would be. But, it's also Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick was going against Gardner Minshew in this one. Kind of thought there might be a chance that this would happen. But, we also didn't do what we talked about. Coming into this one, I talked about the way we dominate this game is to get JT going. And we didn't try to get JT the ball in the passing game. I thought that would be something you could do, right? Extension of the run game type of stuff when the running game isn't working. And early on, the run game was working. And then over time, the Patriots started to stop, and Jonathan Taylor ended up finishing this game with 23 carries for 69 yards and a touchdown. Right, his touchdown was the only touchdown of the game, so it was vitally important. Probably should have been Michael Pittman touchdown on that screen pass, but Jonathan Taylor ends up getting in the end zone on a 4th and goal. And that ended up being a massive difference in this game. When you look at the stats from everybody else, right? We have Gardner Minshew, 18 for 28, 194, no touchdowns in the interception. The interception, you could say his fault, but it got tipped. Looked like it was going to Michael Pittman Jr. It would have been a first down, but it gets tipped at the line and then gets intercepted by the guys behind Michael Pittman Jr. But fortunately, the defense had a pretty good game. They got lucky. The Patriots missed a field goal in this game, but also defense did their thing, was able to get off the field a lot. They were able to get a couple of their own turnovers, especially at very opportune times. Mac Jones in this game was 15 of 20, 170, no touchdowns and an interception. Ended up getting pulled after his interception. It was so bad of a play. Basically threw it right to Julian Blackmon, who was underthrown and was a big difference in this game. It could have been a touchdown for the Patriots and we would have lost this game, but it ended up being Mac Jones throwing that interception. Bailey Zappi comes in a little bit later for a 2-minute drill, ends up throwing a pick. He was 3 of 7, 25 yards, no touchdowns with the interception. Threw the pick on a fake spike. And I saw somebody on Twitter, I believe it was at Drop Balls Pod, Silu on Twitter, who said that play needs to be right there with the fake punt that the Colts had against the Patriots a while back. And I couldn't agree more. You got to put them in the same category. And that one right there ended the game for the Colts. So it was nice to see the defense come out and do their thing. But when you look at the Colts offense as a whole, right, they had 264 total yards of offense. That was just not going to get it done week to week. Luckily, we win the turnover battle. That's what we talk about so much on this channel, is winning the turnover battle. The Colts were able to do that, and they were able to come out with a win as a result of it. But 264 yards of offense, like the last 2 weeks, have not been good for the Colts offense. And a lot of that is on Gardner. Today it was Gardner, even though his numbers don't look terrible, right? 18 of 28. Most of the throws that are incomplete were batted balls at the line. There were 4 or 5 of them got tipped at the line. One of them, again, goes for an interception. A lot of them were just batted down to the ground. But also the other misses were guys that were open and had space downfield, and Gardner's just overthrowing them. Right. And he almost overthrew Josh Downs, but Josh Downs again laid out, tried to lay out for one of the overthrows earlier in the game and just missed, but was able to lay out, had a beautiful catch. Right. And Josh Downs finishes this game with 2 catches for 40 yards, no touchdowns. And that one catch was a massive play in the game. Got the ball a little bit more downfield. Michael Pittman Jr. had a really big impact in this game with 8 catches, 84 yards. Isaiah McKenzie, 4 catches for 31 yards and had a big time kick return. Right. There were different points in this game where the Colts, even though they weren't putting up points, they were getting different plays on drives that were big enough to, go get a first down and be able to extend a drive, or to be able to get better field position like that, where even if you're punting the ball, you have better field position when you're punting so that you're getting them in a worse position to start. So there were a couple things like that that kind of, factor into it when you take everything into account. That's certainly a part of it that happened for the Colts. But it was a pretty bland day for both sides. Obviously, 10-6. There wasn't a whole lot of offense in this one. The Patriots finished with 340 total yards. They had a good day on the ground. You look at what they did with all their running backs: 20 carries for Ramondre Stevenson, 88 yards. Ezekiel Elliott, 13 carries for 54 yards. And then Zeke also had 2 catches, 34 yards, and Ramondre Stevenson 3 catches for 14 yards. So they kept utilizing the running backs. The running backs were keeping drives alive, but between the 2 interceptions and the missed short field goal for the Patriots kicker, they were unable to put the points on the board and were unable to come away with a win. Like the Colts winning this game, they were helped by the Patriots for sure. Right? Patriots finished this game 167 rush yards to the Colts 70. I thought that would be flipped. Honestly, I thought the Colts would dominate on the ground, and I thought that we would be able to stop the Patriots from running the ball. But all in all, like the Patriots run 14 more plays. They have the ball for 10 more minutes in this game. So, what we did on offense today can't be what we do going forward. Gardner just has to be able to hit those shots downfield, especially when guys are getting open. Like Gardner did a better job of having some pocket awareness, even though he's, happy feet in the pocket and he kind of gets off his spot pretty quickly. He did a pretty good job in this game of like being able to extend himself to a point where he can throw the ball downfield, and he does a good job of seeing the guys downfield. He just has to hit the throws. At some point, you have to hit those throws. Like Anthony Richardson would hit those throws, and that's why with Anthony Richardson, we'd be a much better football team, which makes games like this frustrating to watch because you know that we could be putting up the points and be making those big plays, but Garner just isn't getting it done right now. And at least he's not turning the ball over a bunch. Right, again, has the 1 interception that, of course, kind of on him because it gets tipped to the line and he's the one throwing it, but also that was a good decision. That would have been a first down to Michael Pittman Jr. Just gets tipped at the line. So for the most part, doing a good job in terms of turning the ball over. And offensively, they started 3 for 3 on third down. They finished the game 2 of 10 the rest of the way, end up 5 of 13, but they were 2 for 2 on fourth down. So when they get to that situation, they were able to convert, including the only touchdown of the entire game being on fourth down there in that first quarter. There was no scoring at all in the second or third quarter, right? It was 7-3 going into the fourth quarter, and both teams get a field goal after that. But we were able to come away with the win. Luckily, going into the bye week at 5-5 with a lot of questions, right? Like, of course, on this channel, there are going to be people that say we should lose games and, try to get a good draft pick so we can get other receivers. But there are a lot of really good receivers in next year's draft, so I'm not so much worried about that. I want this team to be exciting to watch. I want this team to continue to win. I'd like to see us get back to the playoffs. Whether or not we can make a Super Bowl run is to be seen, right? I don't think we can with Gardner Minshew, but crazier things have happened, right? Trent Dilfer won a championship. So see what happens going forward. We'll have a lot of videos this week about, guys that I think we should pay, guys that I don't think we should pay, guys that I think we should trade this offseason, stuff like that. It's bye week. There's going to be, a lot of videos like that. What should we do going forward? Some self-evaluation. The team's going to do some self-evaluation as a fan. I'm going to do some, self-evaluation looking into the Colts and what our future looks like. So make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so that you're getting notified when those videos do come out. It's going to be videos every single day this week. I appreciate you taking the time to stop by and check this video out. And until next time, as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.